Welcome to Science Store online classes.
Don't forget to like our video and subscribe our YouTube channel for all the updates.
The mass per nucleon in an ordinary hydrogen atom. See, mass per nucleon hydrogen atom, what happens? Hydrogen, helium, lithium, beryllium, boron, like that it goes. No. Now, nucleons are there. Mass per nucleon means total mass divided by this. Now, here when it comes means mass becomes a little less, no, because of binding energy. Okay, maybe 2 times it becomes, but mass per nucleon becomes less because some mass is utilized for binding energy, some mass is utilized for binding energy. So if you calculate the average divided by, if you do means mass increases means nucleons also increases. So mass per nucleon divided by mass number, if you are going to do means here it becomes less and more, less and less, but here it is little more. That's why the slightly greater than the mass per nucleon in an oxygen atom, and others are not. 1/16th mass per nucleon of the oxygen atom, that is wrong because 16 mass number of hydrogen and exactly it won't be there. The meaning is 1 time hydrogen, 16th time oxygen, no, nucleon increases, no, 16. So it is not exactly 1/16th time. Next, the same as the mass per nucleon in an oxygen, no, because mass defect will come. Slightly greater than the mass per nucleon, yes. Slightly smaller than the mass per nucleon of the oxygen atom, no. Okay, why they have given oxygen only? Simply to confuse you, okay. They can give any other atom also, okay, so like that. So this is the question, concept if you know means clearly you can answer. Once again go through it. Next, we are going to see that 30th question was there. In that which was equation was written in this way, H1 plus H1 plus H12, okay, in that way. So it was not visible means I have sent you the classwork, in that you can go through it. That is the 29th question. I wanted to convey these things to you here. Now next we are going to talk about the 34th question. It says that when a microgram of matter, when a microgram of matter is converted to energy, the amount of energy released will be, the amount of energy released will be, okay. So one microgram, that is 34th, yes, okay. So answer it in joules. It is first you have to see answer, unit you have to see, not in MEV, it is in joules, easy work. You have to calculate, simple, E is equal to mc square, okay. M is nothing but 1 microgram, micro means 10 to the power minus 6, gram it is, so you have to convert it to kg, so 10 to the power minus 3 will come, into c square, 9 into 10 to the power 16, okay, directly you have to write down. So 9 ones are 9 into 6 3, 9 becomes 6 6 cancels, 9 3 cancels means 7, you have 10 3 cancels means you are going to get 10 to the power 7 plus 7, 9 into 10 to the power 7 joules, okay, like that fast you have to do, okay. Next we are going to talk about another question. I don't know, hope you are going to look at this in the screen. If not, I am going to write down this question or answers, okay. See, on bombardment of uranium 235, it is written that uranium 235 by slow moving neutrons, 200 MeV energy is released, 200 MeV amount of energy is released. If the power output of atomic reactor is, if the power output of the atomic reactor is 1.6 megawatt, then the rate of fission of will be, Because of rate of fission, you are going to get the power. Okay, because of rate of fission, you are going to get the power. Okay, so energy power means what? Power means work done by time. No, work done by time. Okay, so power is equal to rate of fission into, that you know, right? See, also we know that power which is equal to number of fission into energy, no, isn't it? Energy, that also we have know. Now what you know, that is nothing but number you have to find out, number of fission per second you have to find out. So power divided by energy. Power means what? Total power, no, power given by that. That is N is equal to, remember the rate of fission, this formula you have to should know, from this only it is derived, rate of fission which is equal to, power means energy per second, no, energy per second, or work done per second. Okay, or total energy, it is nothing but total energy. It is nothing but total energy. Now what is E? E is nothing but energy per fission. E is nothing but energy per fission. Per fission. Can you do this? So what is total energy? Total energy, what is the total power? It is given 1.6 megawatt, means 1.6 into 10 to the power 6 watt, divided by energy per fission is on bombardment of uranium U-235 by slow moving neutron, 200 MeV of energy is released. Now it is in seconds, means you have to apply in joules. Okay, so energy is nothing but 200 MeV. 200 MeV means M means 10 to the power 6. EV means you have to convert into joule, means 1.6 into 10 to the power minus 19. So that is nothing but joules. 1.6 into 10 to the power minus 19 joules. So do it. 1.6 cancels. 1 by 200. So 10 to the power 6 is remaining. 10 to the power 6, 10 to the power 6 cancels. So no need to worry. Now 1 by 200, that I will write down. 10 to the power 2 is there. 10 to the power 2 cancels here. So that 19 goes, 18 goes into 10 to the power minus 17 you are going to get. So minus 17 goes to the numerator, 10 to the power plus 17 you are going to get. So 1 by 2 is nothing but 0.5 into 10 to the power plus 17. Okay. So here it is given 5 into 10 to the power 16, 10 into 10 to the power 16, 15 into 10 to the power 16, 20 into 10 to the power 16. Very easy for us. No, it is already 5 in terms of 5. So 15 into 10 to the power 60 is not answer, 20 into 10 to the power 16 is not answer, 10 into 10 to the power 16 per second is not answer. It must be 5, but we have got in terms of 15, no. So 5 if you write down means point you will shift here. Point if you shift will here means to the right side means it is decreases. It becomes 16. Left side means increases. I have told earlier in the classes. So remember that is. So answer is 5 into 10 to the power 16 per second. 5 into 10 to the power 16 per second. So next we are going to talk about one more question, that is half-life of a radioactive element depends upon the amount of element present, the temperature, the pressure, or none of the above. None of the above. What is the answer? Half-life is depends on half-life, which is equal to 0.693 divided by lambda you are going to get, isn't it? Yes, all of you listening, right? Okay, so now half-life depends only on decay constant, nothing else. Decay constant is constant and constant for the material. Now it does not depend on any of the things, so it is none of the above. It is none of the above. We were talking about the questions of nuclei, and the next question we are going to talk about, that is the activity of a radioactive element decreased to 1/3 of its original activity. I naught in 9 years. After further 9 years, its activity will be. See, 1/3 it's see activity will the rate of change of A by A naught. That will be constant, no, nearly equally it is decreasing. Now I naught becomes after how many years? After 9 years it becomes I naught by 3. So now next again after 9 years. So again now I is equal to I naught by 3 is there. Us 3 times it becomes and it's equal to I naught by 9. This is what the answer is. Answer is option C. Next, go to the next question and try to find out the answer for that. Go to the question in the screen. What it says? Yes. After 280 days, the activity of a radioactive sample is 6,000 disintegration per second. After 280 days, T is equal to 280 days. So activity is 6,000 disintegration per second. Okay. The activity reduces to 3,000 disintegration per second after 140 days. Okay. After 140 days, its activity reduces to 3,000 dps. Okay. So exactly half of this 280 140 means I can say it is half life. So that exactly half it reduces. After the another 140 days, the initial activity of the sample in disintegration per second. So it is disintegration per second you have to find out. So what was initial activity that you have to find out? What was initial activity that you have to find out? After 280 days, the activity of a radioactive sample is 6,000 dps, disintegration per seconds. No. The activity reduces to 3,000 after another 140 days. After another 140 days means in 140 days it becomes exactly half. So the initial activity of the sample. So simple, out of A naught, A is there, 1 divided by 2 to the power n. So I'll erase this. So 1 to the power t to the power n is t by t of. So what is total t? 140 plus 280 which is equal to. This one easily has to come, quickly has to get that. Not thinking that 280 plus 140 how much it is. That is addition. Okay. So that is what I am always saying, that this formula and all you will write down. Now addition itself you will take the time means. Okay. So 420 days. Okay. Now T of is 140. So you can write down A by A naught which is equal to, you have to find out now how much. That is equal to A naught you have to find out. A is now 3,000, that is 1 divided by 2 to the power t total 420 divided by 140 is a half. This one goes, isn't it? Okay. So 2 to the power 3 it will come. So do it yourself. That is A naught which is equal to 3,000 into 2 to the power 3, 824k, isn't it? Option D is the right answer. Okay, 24,000 disintegration per second. Go to the next question. Okay, once again go through it. Addition, subtraction and multiplication must be very fast, and all other substitutions. Formulas you must know. Now what I can say is, in a book write down the formulas somewhere. and square root, whatever the things you have to write down. You think that the like a formula you have to remember, write down somewhere in the book and see weekly. Whatever the in week you are going to do the work, once again you have to revise it. In the next week, the first week as well as second week's work you have to revise. In the third week, first, second, third week work we have to revise. Now at the end of the all completion, everything you have to keep on revising and you have to work out. Okay. So next, by saying this, I am going to continue for the next question. It says that what is the mass of 1 curie of uranium-234? What do you mean by 1 curie? 1 curie means 3.71 into 10 to the power 1 curie. 3.7 into 10 to the power 10 disintegration. Isn't it? 10 to the power 10 disintegration. Now what you have to find out, what is the mass of 1 curie of uranium-234 is there. Now I have to take uranium from the main sample so that its activity becomes 1 curie. Now when it becomes 1 curie, the mass is somewhat, you are getting somewhat mass you are going to get. No, for that its activity becomes 1 curie. Now what is that mass? That you have to calculate. How we can calculate? So 234 gram, that is molecular weight, you know that 234 gram of uranium if you take means 6.023 into 10 to the power 23 atoms are there, no? That is 234 gram if you take means 6.023 into 10 to the power 23 atoms are there. Now 3.7 into 10 to the power 10 disintegration happens. Okay, that is 1 curie. Means 3.7 into 10 to the power 10 atoms disintegrate. 10 atoms disintegrate. Whose mass is how much? That you have to calculate. Okay. So can you calculate now? Very easy. So that is 234 into 3.7 into 10 to the power 10 divided by the mass of 1 curie divided by 6.023 into 10 to the power 23. Now the question is so difficult, it is how I can do this? No, isn't it? So make it 60. Okay, so that you can make it as 37 into 23. This you calculate, this ones are twos are, you can say nearly half of that, nearly half of this, no, 234 half, 100 plus something. So half of the 250 is, that is 125, 250, nearly that much, because approximation we have done. So which is nearer to 140, 130? So this one, no, simple. Okay, like that. So you can do the approximations also. Again and again you have to work out, then you are going to get that. So 1.54 into 10 to the power minus 11 you are going to get. So the right answer will be 1.438 into 10 to the power minus 11. Go to the next question. These multiplications and all, once again I am telling that where and all you are going to get more and more time. You are going to spend more and more time where you should not. The multiplication, for the addition, all those things, please, your table must be exactly perfect and all those things. That's why again and again solve the problems. Again and again solve this twice or thrice. Okay. So next, a certain mass of hydrogen is changed to helium by the process of fusion. The mass defect in the fusion reaction is 0.02866 AMU. So the energy liberated per U is Now 1 AMU is means this, so multiplication you have to do. This we have already done that, isn't it? In earlier problems, this kind of a problem we have done. That is, number of hydrogens are going to combine become helium. Now total individual hydrogen you are going to calculate, the mass is somewhat X. Now that is together means it becomes helium, that mass must be X, but you are not going to get that because some mass is converted into energy for the binding energy, right? Yes. Now what you are going to do? That binding energy is liberated is, they have told that mass defect, that is 0.02866 AMU. Now that you have to calculate, it is nothing but cross multiplication. Since it is given in AMU, you have to write down and find out, that is total multiplication. So energy liberated per AMU will be per AMU, energy liberated per AMU. So total energy liberated is how much? That is, total energy is 0.02866 into 931 MeV. The answer you are going to get, it will be in MeV. Okay. Now what is the question asked? Directly don't write down now. The question is clearly asked that the energy liberated per AMU. Now see, the helium by changed to helium. How many nucleons are there in the case of helium? Per AMU means that is nothing but 0.02866 into 931 divided by how much? 4 divided by 4. So multiplication you have to do. 0.028 you can take approximately. So it is 900 if you take, means it is, so 900 divided by 4. Nearly, okay. So you are going to get, do it correctly, okay, exactly calculation you have to get, so that you are going to get the answer as 6.67 MeV, okay, 6.67 MeV, that is the thing you are going to get, okay. So do this, okay. So I will take, see why, because when and all you can do approximation, not every time, okay. So here it is, large difference is there for this, see, large difference is there, and all are in MeV, so no need to worry about the powers now, okay. Now ME only you are going to get. So what I will do, 30 into 900 I am writing, divided by 4 I am writing, so 27,000 divided by 4, nearly 6 something you are going to get, no, and that you can do, because now here some more power you are going to get, but you have reduced here, no, we have 28 with 30 you have written. So these are all like approximations. When you are going to get this idea, you have to see exactly the answer first. As soon as you see the question, you have to see the answer. First you have to verify for the units, verify for the different numbers, whether it is equally it is given, means it is difficult. Don't go for approximation every time, okay. So how you will get that idea? Solve the problem. Solve the problem. Now the question is how I can understand that for which question I have to go for approximation, not. You have to look for the answer first, and after that you have to look for all those that, and repeatedly if you solve the question, means automatically it will come. By saying this, next question we are going to move, that is nothing but, during a nuclear reaction protons are destroyed, producing an energy of 3724 MeV. 3724 MeV. The number of protons destroyed is, the number of protons, MeV it is written, no, isn't it? MeV, you must know the mass of the proton. So you know that 1 AMU is equal to 931 MeV, isn't it? 3742 MeV means how much AMU? Like that you can calculate, isn't it? Like and you can calculate, or else you can convert into for equally to that, and after that you can calculate how much energy is given. So if you know in AMU means you have to do that. Now that is a tedious task. See, I have to 372 for MEV, 931 MeV for 1 U, and 372 MeV for some much U, and some much U. We are going to get how many protons are there in that. That is a tedious process. Now how I can go this? How I can interpret this kind of problem? Now anyway, that is they have told that only for the proton that energy is. Now I know mass of the proton, so I will calculate the energy of the proton. That is nothing but mc square 1.6 into 10 to the power minus 27 into 3 into 10 to the power 8 means it is 9 into 10 to the power 16, isn't it? And it is in EV you have to write down means 1.6 into 10 to the power minus 19 you have to multiply. Now what happens, this you are going to calculate, cancel, so that you are going to get 900 MeV. Okay. Now that is for one proton. The energy of the one proton is 900 MeV. So for one proton you are going to get 900 MeV. Then for 3724 protons, 3724 MeV you have to get means how much protons you are going to get? That is 3724 divided by 900 you are taking, isn't it? So nearly equal to how much? 36 and 9, isn't it? 2 digits, 2 digits, leave it. 9 ones are 9, how much? Nearly 4, isn't it? Nearly 4 protons. Done, isn't it? It's definitely 3724, not 1 time, not 2 time, not 3 time, isn't it? Isn't it? 9 3s are 900 3s are mean 3000, 2700 you are going to get. No, it is 4 times. Simple. Use your brain properly and do that. Okay, that is the thing. Next we are going to talk about one more problem. Deuterons means what? You know, if you don't know you have to find out. Okay, learn that. That is a work for you. Okay. Now 2 deuterons each of mass m fuse to form helium, resulting in release of energy E. The mass of helium formed. See, 2 deuterons of mass m means 2 deuterons of mass m, that is m plus m, total mass becomes 2m, isn't it? So E is equal to mc square. No, mass of the helium you have to formed is find out. Mass of the helium formed you have to find out. 2 deuterons of each mass m fused to form a helium, resulting in release of energy E. So E is releasing the mass of helium formed is m you have to find out. So E by mc square, isn't it? E by c square, the mass of the helium formed is. How to find out? M is equal to E by c square. Okay, m is equal to E by c square. Now E is equal to mc square, isn't it? Mass is equal to E by c square. That is the formula, isn't it? Now the mass of the helium formed is 2m. Mass of the helium formed is too much, 2m. How to get that? How to get that? Think. Find out the answer. Find out the answer. Yes. So mass of the helium will be, mass of the helium will be 2m must be the total mass. In that E by c square you have to subtract. That is gone for what? Binding energy, right? M is equal to E by C square. This much goes to binding energy, so that in the total mass, that is M plus M, 2M it should be there, but 2M you won't get, because some mass is going to utilize for binding energy. Now what is that mass is utilized for binding energy? This 2M minus E by C square is utilized. So in that way, 2M minus E by C square, that is the thing. Next we are going to talk about 43. Go through the question, find out the answer. All the questions are very easy. Find out, that is 43. Question is the ratio between the radii of nuclei with mass number 27 and 125. Mass number A1, A2, 25 and 125. The ratio of radii. So what is the radii? You know that radius is equal to R naught into A to the power 135. Wow, sorry, 1 over 3. Now you can write down R is directly proportional to 1 over 3. The ratio how to find out R1, R2 directly proportional, right? A1 means 25 to the power 1 by 3 and 125 to the power 1 by 3. 25 means how much you can get. Okay, so A2 means how much you can get, that you have to find out. Okay, so it is 27, isn't it? Yes, that is what I was thinking, because 3 times 25 I won't get. Then I thought, yeah, somewhat, that is, yeah, this is 1, that is, so 3 and 5, that is 3 is to 5, that is 3 is to 5, option B. Go to the next question. Go to the next question. Is the nucleus which has a radius 1/3 of the radius of cesium 189. Cesium 189 is the nucleus which has radius 1/3 of the radius of cesium 189 is. Okay, the nucleus which has a radius, so one nucleus is there, say A2, this is A1. A1 is what? Cesium. Okay, whose radius is 1/3 of, that is someone is there whose radius is 1/3 of cesium. R1 is cesium, so that nuclei you have to find out now. Okay, so you know that 1/3, 1/3, R2 by R1, isn't it? So A2 I have to find out, A to the power 1/3, which is equal to A1 to the power 1/3 into R2 is how much? 1/3 into R1 divided by R1 is there. R1 cancels, A to the power 1/3 divided by 3. A to the power 1/3. 1/3 goes means cube root I am going to take. So 1/3 goes, 1/3 goes. Cube root of 3 is 27. So this is A2. A1 is how much? 189. 189 divided by 27. How much? Now this multiplication you have to do. Simple it is, quickly. Not 3 or 4 steps. 27 sevens are 189. That calculations you have to do. Now the answer is lithium 7. Okay, that calculation you have to do. Okay, yes. Now next we are going to talk about the next question. I hope you have gone through it. One nucleus is there whose radius is 1/3 of this cesium. Then what is this mass number they have asked? You have done that. Okay. Once again, go through that. Go through that if you are not going to understand means. Okay. So the next one is okay. 43, 44 we did, 45. Equivalent energy of one mass. Oh, sorry. Equivalent energy of mass equal to 1 AMU is. What is that? Equivalent energy of 1 AMU is how much? How much? 931, 931, 931, 931. KeV, LeV, MEV, MEV. That is 9.31. So which one is correct? 931 MeV. Okay. So option C. That already we have done that. Next, how does the binding energy per nucleon vary with the increase in the number of nucleon? How does the binding energy per nucleon vary with the increase in the number of nucleons? So binding energy varies with the increase of number of nucleon. So what is that binding energy curve? Binding energy per nucleon with the mass number means number of nucleons are going to increase, right? Number of nucleons are going to increase. What are we going to do? So increases, 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 variation takes place, now increases and becomes saturated. No? The graph you have done, isn't it? Like this. Now decrease continuously with the mass number. Is it so? No. First decrease and then increases with the increase in mass number. No, it gets the saturation value and becomes equal. First increase and then decrease and with the increase of the mass number. That seems correct. We are going for the next question, that is increases continuously with the mass number. Increases continuously with the mass number. Increases continuously with the mass number. No, the option is C. Option is C. Okay, go through it. Okay, go to the next question, that is 47th one. So sodium 15, 7 and carbon 14, 6. The nuclei are given. Are the examples of whether they are isotopes, isobars, isotones, mirror nuclei. So what do you mean by isotopes? Mass number, atomic number is same. Isobars means you know that mass number is same. Isotones means same number of nuclei, isn't it? So mirror nuclei, the like isomer, what are the same. Now let's see. We will see what are the number of. I think it is not isotope, isn't it? It is not isobar. We have to see whether it is not isobar. Then let's see whether it is isotones. That is 15 minus 7 is how much? 15 minus 7 is, that is 14 minus 6 is. That you calculate and find out whether it is. Okay. So 8 you are going to get here, isn't it? Here also 8 you are going to get. So that is 15 minus 7 neutrons, 14 minus 6, 8 neutrons you are going to get. So which is having same number of same number of neutrons, so that we can say these are isotones. Now move to the next question, that is if A is the mass number, the volume of a nucleus is directly proportional to. If A is the mass number, the volume of a nucleus is directly proportional to. If A is the mass number. Now what do you mean by volume? Volume which is equal to 4 by 3 pi r cube means volume is directly proportional to r cube. But we know that r is equal to r naught into a to the power 1 by 3, isn't it? Now the relation is, if A is the mass number or the volume of a mass number, the volume of a nucleus, volume and mass number is asked. No. So now we know that mass number, that is in this way. I am going to write down directly proportional. I will take the cube root of this, then I am going to get R cube is directly proportional to A, right? So I can write down C, which is directly proportional to volume. So volume is directly proportional to A, isn't it? Volume is directly proportional to A. So it is directly proportional to the mass number. Okay. Now move to the next question, that is nuclear radius. See, it is given aluminium 27, it is given. Okay, is 3/5 times that of the some nuclei, that is X 27. This type of question we have done already done. The value of mass number A is, okay, the value of mass number A is. So some ambiguity is there in the question. It is not both 27. Let me check once. Okay, so that says that 40 nuclear. Okay, see, this is not 27, this is A. Okay, so this is A, that is the nuclear radius of aluminum. Now nuclear radius of aluminum is 3/5 times that of this. Now nuclear radius of aluminum is equal to 3/5 times nuclear radius of X. Value of the mass number of A, you have to find out. Now we know that same radius is directly proportional to A to the power 1/3. Radius of aluminum is directly proportional to mass number of aluminum 1/3. Radius of X is directly proportional to radius mass number of X 1/3. We want to find out AX, isn't it? So we will do the divided by thing. So R aluminum divided by Rx, which is equal to A aluminum 1/3 divided by A X 1/3. So Ra means aluminum, you know that 3/5 Rx. So it is 3/5 Rx cancels. So aluminum, we know that 27 to the power 3 1/3, 27 to the power 1/3 and this. So I am going to bring here Ax, which is equal to 5 into 27 to the power 1/3 means how much? So that is 3 divided by 3, you are going to get 3 cancels, 1/3 is there. So Ax 1/3, which is equal to 5. So I have to take it out, means 1/√3. Cube I have to take. So Ax, which is equal to cube of this is 125. Cube of Ax is 125. Very easy. The same thing we have done in the previous questions, I think. Now next, at the last, we are going to talk about when a beta particle is emitted. When a beta particle is emitted, parent and daughter form set off. See, beta particle is emitted means parent, already we know that, isn't it? Already we know that. So let's see what is going to happen when beta particle is emitted. Now parent nuclei Z and A you are going to have. Now it emit beta particle means -1 and 0 means. Now daughter nuclei you are going to get, isn't it? So I'll write down for our convenience, here it is -1 and 0. So y I am going to get, that is the daughter nuclei. So Z and Z has to come. No, Z plus 1 I have to write down. No, Z plus 1 I have to write down. Then only see Z, which is equal to Z plus 1 minus 1. Then only equal comes. No, so Z plus 1 increases. Here it is A only remain. So mass number is same means what is that? It is mass number is same means that is isobars, isn't it? Isobars. So daughter nuclei and parent nuclei becomes isobars. And now ends, we are concluding here the chapter nuclei. Again, all the question, maximum, max to max 50 questions we have solved here. Okay, so very easy, it is very easy. concentrate on binding energy, concentrate on isotones, concentrate on nuclear reactor concept and binding energy concept. These are all you have to concentrate. So again some of the questions you discuss, okay, so that exactly idea you are going to get in this, but that is what I am saying always to you, that day by day little bit consistent effort you are going to put means that is what which will make you successful, okay, that is the thing. And again revise the questions whichever you have studied, revise, that is very much important and very much needed, okay. By saying all of this I am going to conclude the chapter nuclei. Thank you very much for watching these videos, and once again watch those videos and discuss the question answers. Thank you very much.
Don't forget to like our video and subscribe our YouTube channel for all the updates.